Good evening, Etiwanda families, and welcome to our English Learner Family Education Night. Thank you for taking the time to learn about our programs, resources, and supports that are available to your child. Tonight, we hope you leave with a better understanding about how your child is supported as an English learner, how we measure their progress, what you can do at home, and who you can go to if you have questions. Most importantly, we want you to know that your child's language, culture, experiences, and strengths are valued here in Etiwanda. My name is Jeannie Tavalazzi, and I serve as the Assistant Superintendent of Instruction and Pupil Services. Joining me tonight are Justin Koyman, our Director of Instruction, and Denise Reyes-Gibb, our Instruction Specialist. Each of us will share a different part of the information tonight. I'll begin by providing some context for our work. Denise will help you understand the English Learner Program, LPAC, the supports your child receives, and the reclassification process. Justin will then walk you through the systems and resources you can use to monitor your child's progress, communicate with the school, and support learning at home. By the end of this presentation, we hope you can answer several important questions. Why was my child identified as an English learner? How is my child's English language development measured? What support does my child receive at school? And how will I know that my child is ready to be reclassified? And finally, what tools and resources can I use to stay involved and support my child at home? With that, I would like to turn things over to Denise to begin with your child's English learner journey.
Let's begin with what it means when a student is identified as an English learner. Being an English learner does not define a child's ability or potential. It simply tells us that a student is developing proficiency in English and may benefit from additional language support while learning grade-level academic content. The process begins when families complete the home language survey during enrollment. When the information provided indicates that another language may be part of the student's language background, an initial LPAC assessment may be administered. The initial LPAC helps determine whether the student is already fluent in English or should receive English learner services. Students identified as English learners then take the summative LPAC each year to measure their continued development of English until they meet the requirements for reclassification. The LPAC measures English development in 4 important areas: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. These different areas are important because a student may have different strengths. For example, a child may become very comfortable speaking English socially while still developing the reading or writing skills needed for academic work. Your child's LPAC score report is made available annually through the ARIES parent portal. Families may also request a mailed copy. When you receive the report, we encourage you not to focus only on one overall number. Look at the individual areas as well and talk with your child's teacher about questions such as, where is my child demonstrating strength? Where are they still developing? And what are we doing at school to help them continue growing? LPAC results do more than provide a score. They help us determine the types of language support students may need. English learners receive both integrated and designated English language development, or ELD. Integrated ELD occurs throughout the school day. Teachers intentionally support students in understanding academic language while learning subjects such as reading, mathematics, science, and social studies. Designated ELD provides focus time specifically for developing English language skills. Students who need additional support may also benefit from clustered classes, instructional aid support, supplemental curriculum, Imagine Learning, translation resources, and additional monitoring. Each school also has staff members who work collaboratively with the district EL team to monitor students and help teachers determine appropriate supports. Our goal is not to separate students from rigorous learning. Our goal is to provide the language support that allows them to participate successfully in it. As students continue developing English proficiency, we begin looking toward an important milestone called reclassification. Reclassification means that a student has demonstrated the English proficiency and academic skills necessary to transition from English learner status to reclassified fluent English proficient status, often called RFEP. The criteria displayed on this slide show the steps used to make that determination. The first step is achieving an overall level 4 on the summative LPAT. Students must then meet the applicable district academic criteria. These include measures such as performance on the California Assessment in English Language Arts, the iReady Reading Diagnostic, and classroom performance in reading or language arts. Teacher input and parent or guardian consultation are also an important part of the process. The important message for families is that reclassification is based on multiple pieces of information. If you're wondering how close your child is to reclassification, that is a very appropriate question to ask your child's teacher or school EL team. Reclassification is an important accomplishment, but our support does not simply stop once that occurs. After a student is reclassified, the district continues to monitor the student's academic progress for 4 years. Teachers review how the student is performing and help determine whether additional academic support may be needed. This allows us to make sure students continue to be successful as the academic language and expectations become increasingly complex from one grade level to the next. Families are one of the most important partners in language development. And one message we especially want families to hear is this: please continue using and developing your home language. Your child's ability to communicate, think, read, tell stories, ask questions, and express ideas in more than one language is a strength. At home, you can support language development in very simple ways. Read together, talk about what you read, look at pictures, and ask your child to describe what they notice. Ask questions that require more than a one-word answer. Encourage your child to explain an idea, retell something that happened during the school day, or teach you something they learned at school. Language develops through meaningful communication, not only through worksheets or test preparation. Families can also help students become more comfortable with the LPAC itself. Practice and training tests are available online. The goal is not to memorize questions. Instead, practice helps students become familiar with the types of activities they may encounter and how they will interact with the testing system. You can use the link or QR code on this slide to explore the practice test together. Even a short amount of practice can help your child feel more comfortable with the format when it is time to take the assessment at school. Some of our students also receive access to Imagine Learning as an additional language development resource. The program begins by identifying a student's current language development needs and then provides lessons targeted to that level. Students progress at their own pace, and the program then provides information to teachers about areas in which a student is progressing or may need additional support. Our district EL team also monitors participation and progress throughout the year. If Imagine Learning has been assigned to your child, we encourage you to make it a part of a regular home learning routine. At this point, we have talked about how students are identified, how we measure progress, and the support they receive. Justin is now going to show you some of the tools that will help you see that progress for yourself and stay connected to your child's school.
Before we look at our technology tools, I want to briefly explain our school structure because it sometimes can be confusing, particularly for families who are new to our district or new to the American school system. The Etiwanda School District serves students from transitional kindergarten through 8th grade, with our elementary schools serving transitional kindergarten through 5th grade, and our intermediate schools serving 6th through 8th grade. After 8th grade, students transition to Chaffey Joint Union High School District for grades 9 through 12. That is why you may sometimes see information or websites from two different school districts as your child moves through their educational journey. One of the most important things families can do is monitor progress throughout the year, rather than waiting until the end of the trimester or the end of the school year. Teachers communicate student progress through report cards, our online gradebook called ARIES, parent-teacher conferences, classroom communication, and other school contacts. Parent-teacher conference is an especially valuable opportunity to ask about academic progress, language development, strengths, and areas where your child may need additional support. You never want to wait for a scheduled meeting if you have a concern. Ongoing communication is always available. Communication between home and school can happen throughout the year. One of the most important tools for staying informed is the ARIES Parent Portal. Think of ARIES as a central location for important information about your child. Parents can use it to complete annual data confirmations, review and update emergency contact information, monitor attendance, view grades and assignments, and identify missing work. Parents can also subscribe to a weekly progress email that provides updated attendance and gradebook information. Keeping your content information current in ARIES is especially important because many of our other communication systems rely on that information. Our Etiwanda mobile app provides another convenient way to stay connected. Through the app, families can view school and district news, receive notifications, access menus and resources, connect to ARIES, and move between different schools associated with your family. The app also provides access to Rooms, our teacher-to-family communication platform. Rooms allows teachers to send classroom announcements and communicate directly with families without requiring families to search through their crowded email inbox. Communications can also be translated, which is especially important for our multilingual families. Once you have the app installed and your account is connected, please make sure push notifications are turned on so important information reaches you when it is sent. Students also use Clever to access many of our district's online educational programs. Instead of trying to remember separate websites and passwords, Clever provides students with one central location. Students sign in using their Etiwanda Google account, and then they can access programs available for their grade level and school. We recommend bookmarking the Clever page on any device that your child regularly uses at home. If your child tells you that they need to use an online school program and you are unsure as where to find it, Clever is usually a good place to begin. We also want our families to know that you do not need to remember everything from tonight. Our English Learner Program webpage includes helpful videos and resources that you can return to throughout the year. Resources are available to both of our elementary and our intermediate families, including videos in English, Chinese, and Spanish. The QR code that you see on this slide will take you directly to our English Learner Program webpage. We encourage you to save it or bookmark it so you could return to it whenever you need assistance. When you have questions about your child, you have several people available to help. Your child's teacher is often the best place to begin because they see your child's progress every day. You can also reach out to your school's EL staff, school administration, or our district's instruction department. We want your involvement to extend beyond asking questions about your own child. English learner families have an important voice in helping us improve our programs. Our District English Learner Advisory Committee, or DLAC, provides parents with opportunities to learn more about our EL program, provide feedback, and help shape the services we provide. We encourage you to participate. Some great questions to continue asking throughout the year are: what are my child's strengths? How is their English development in listening, speaking, reading, and writing? What supports are they receiving? How close are they to meeting our reclassification criteria? And what is one way that I could help them from home? Those conversations help create strong partnerships between families and schools.
Thank you to all of our families for spending this time with us. We know that navigating a school system, assessments, programs, and technology can sometimes feel complicated, especially when families are also navigating more than one language. Our responsibility is to make that process easier to understand and to make sure you know that you have partners here to help. We value the language, culture, experiences, and strength your family brings to our school. We appreciate the important role you play in your child's education. Please continue asking questions, staying connected, and sharing your voice with us. Thank you for being an important partner in your child's success and in the Etiwanda School District.